What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I'm going to be covering something a little bit different. I've covered this 2021 Grand Cherokee L Altitude version on my channel. I'll put up a playlist here that you can check out. But in today's video, I'm going to be covering the 5 things that I love about this and 5 things that I wish they did a little bit different. So to begin with, I'll start off with 5 things that I love about this. We'll start from the outside and then make our way inside of the vehicle. The first thing on the list is obviously the redesign of the Grand Cherokee L. It just looks so much more sleeker. You can see by the headlights, very thin and very sleek looking. Even the 7-slot grille up front is much more redefined than obviously the older style Grand Cherokees. And in my opinion, a lot of people, they can disagree. Obviously it's their opinion, but to me, this is a huge improvement when it comes to the 6 to 7 passenger seating vehicle. They will be coming out with a 5 passenger as well. I'm assuming it's gonna look the same, but again, the design just looks absolutely beautiful. Even from the side view of it, it just looks very nice and sleek. To me, it looks more planted to the ground and more redefined than obviously how the older ones were. Now again, this one will be a little bit longer when the 5-seater ones come out, but still this looks very sleek. And as for the rear, same thing as the front, it's much more sleeker. Obviously, even with the headlights being a little bit more thinner, just like the front headlights, the tail lights are just as nice looking, and it just looks very nice. The whole shape and everything about it just makes the new Grand Cherokee L's much more desirable. Now, just my opinion, I think the Altitudes are going to be much more popular compared to the other trims just because everything is blacked out, and it's actually priced very reasonably with the options and everything that you get with the vehicle, especially the standard safety features. It's a must-have. Now, another positive in the rear, of course, as I mentioned, this does come in the either 6, which you're looking at right now, or a 7-passenger option. And I think Jeep has done a really good job to get into this market, which they haven't been before because they've only had just the 5-seaters when it came to the Grand Cherokees. But now that they have the Grand Cherokee L, you can get 6 or 7 passenger seating, which is really nice to have. And even though that they made these 6 or 7 passenger seating, it's not like they're uncomfortable at the very back. Again, you can see the seats, they're very comfortable. I've done a review on this one, the Summit and the Limited. It's very comfortable and a decent amount of space in the back, obviously for kids and even adults. So they've done a really good job breaking into this market. The next thing that I like on these, like I mentioned previously, are the safety features. There are a ton of standard safety features that you don't have to pay extra for like on any other manufacturer. So with these ones, actually, when it comes to standard features, you're getting active lane management system, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, blind spot, rear cross path detection, full speed forward warning with obviously collision warning as well, pedestrian and cyclist emergency braking. It's just so many things in one vehicle, and it's just standard. But of course, if you move up into the trims like the Summits and Summit Reserves and all that stuff, you can get things like heads-up display, interior rear facing camera, digital rear view mirror, night vision, and other things. Now, when it comes to the interior, just like I mentioned, the outside of the vehicle and the whole redefined look of it, even the interior has a whole redefined look, which looks way more sleeker than obviously the older style Grand Cherokees. But a lot of people will still love those because hey, they're they may not be open to this whole new change, which kind of looks up to date finally, whereas the older ones, they really didn't. They needed some work, but these ones I absolutely love. Just look at the steering wheel, look at everything. Even you get the 10.1 inch center gauge cluster right there, which looks absolutely stunning. And even the new Uconnect 5 touchscreen, again, in my opinion, it looks very clean. Speaking about the new Uconnect 5 system, this is also my new favorite thing on these. Older ones, they had a little bit of kind of like a laggy touchscreen in a way, but these ones, it's much more quicker, much more responsive, and it's the Uconnect 5. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this screen, which you couldn't do on the older ones, and it's just a far better system. Now, this is the 8.5 inch touchscreen. You can get obviously the 10.1 inch touchscreen if you do, go up in the trim levels like the Overlands, Limiteds, and Summits and whatnot. But even the 8.5 inch looks absolutely beautiful, especially being surrounded with, you know, all gloss black, which looks very, very nice. And even with the new Uconnect 5 system, there's a ton of things, like I mentioned, that you can do, and you can gain access to things like safety and security of your vehicle, smart vehicle assistance, drive alerts, traffic, and travel services. There's a lot of things you can do just off of the Uconnect 5 app on your phone. And you know, you can start the vehicle, you can turn it off, lock it, unlock it, check your tire pressure, and all of that good stuff, which is really, really convenient. And it's just the whole overall look of the exterior and the interior. Very, very nice and very, very clean looking, in my opinion. Way better than the older style Grand Cherokees. Even though they were still good, this one just, you know, tops it up a notch. And now let's jump into things that I think they should have done, but obviously they didn't. And I've seen a lot of comments online on different various videos that, you know, people wish that they did, especially on the Altitude trims. And I'm gonna cover that because I personally think they should have done it. But hey, maybe in the future they'll listen to the people and actually do those things, but let's see. So as you may have noticed in my review video, or even just looking at the vehicle right now, there's no fog lights. That's correct. You cannot get fog lights on the Laredo and the Altitude trim level, which I think should have been an option if they didn't want to add it as just a standard feature. At least give the option to people if they do want to get fog lamps. It's just my opinion, but this would have looked so much cleaner and, you know, a little bit more, I guess you could say, aggressive in the front end with the fog lights and more usability. Now, moving on to the next thing, which are the wheels. These are probably my favorite looking wheels. I just love them, especially in all black. One thing that I wish that they, you know, did and gave kind of more options for is the wheel options. Obviously, it would have been nice to have other options that you can get with the blacked out Altitude, but these ones are just the regular wheels that you even see on the Grand Cherokee L Limiteds, which are stock wheels, the silver ones, but these ones obviously are blacked out. So I wish that they do add it in the future. Maybe they will, hopefully, but let's see. Having more options of these in black would be a must-have. Now, in the rear, this is probably just my nitpicking and just my personal preference, but I don't know if any of you guys would actually prefer this as well. But if you were to just look at the vehicle from the back, like right now, you do not see any exhaust. This does have a dual exhaust. It is underneath, one right here and one right in the corner over there. I wish they had it somewhere on the actual bumper here, even if it wasn't, you know, the actual exhaust going, even just have something there like the Limited, Summit, and all of that. I think it would have looked a little bit more nicer. But again, with this, I know they're trying to go with like a full clean black, you know, blacked out look on the rear of these, but still, that would have been nice to have. The next one that I wish that they gave an option for, this obviously has the option for just a regular sunroof. I wish they had another optional option, you know, if you wanted to get it either with this or with a full panoramic. I think it would have looked way, way better if you had the option for a full panoramic sunroof. Sure, you know, you can charge extra for that, but it would have been nice to have an option, because I think with all Grand Cherokee L's, a panoramic sunroof is a must-have. And my last thing for the interior that I wish that they kind of did, even though I know that the Laredos come with the, you know, Quadra-Track 1 4x4 system, is that have the option of at least having to choose by yourself if you want to go through the different, you know, modes, whether it be rock, mud, snow, auto, or whatever it may be. At least have the option, I guess. With that being said, that's it for today's 5 things that I like and 5 things that I really wish that they change. Let me know in the comments down below whether or not you agree with these things or what you think about this Grand Cherokee L Altitude. Do you love it or do you hate it?